Emil's boss Mannheim in exchange. He claims that Emil trusts him and that, given enough time, he could extract Mannheim's location from him.
What you got to lose? Finding him has got to be worth a lot more than what you were paid for me, right, Ops? He'll never break Rottmeier. He'll die before he turns.
Intrigued, the warden agrees to the deal and allows Ray to remain in the same block as Emil, for now. Of course, this was all part of Ray's plan. Once back in the cell block, he tells Emil everything about his deal with the warden. To buy time, Emil starts feeding Ray false stories about Mannheim, which Ray then passes on to the warden.
I don't give a shit about 6 years ago. I want to know where he is now.
With their distraction in place, Ray and Emil seek help from Javed, the Muslim inmate. They need someone who can get access to the ship's deck, and Javed is their best option.
You want to die? You want to get out?
Later, Javed is brought to Warden Hobbs and pretends to offer his services as a spy. He claims he can provide information about Ray's escape plans. In exchange, he asks for permission to pray outside in the open air, per his religious customs. Unaware of Javed's true motives, the warden agrees and grants him access to the deck. Once outside, Javed quickly uses the sextant, calculating the ship's latitude. With this crucial information, Ray deduces that they are in the Atlantic Ocean near Morocco.
Workers counterclockwise above the equator, so we're north. They brought a new fishing yesterday. He said it was November 20th. We got warm rain, warm air at sea. November. Now you're building a secret facility, so you're gonna want to stay away from the Caribbean and the Pacific, say east of the China Sea. I was a bad man. I said we could be off the coast of Morocco.
They aren't entirely certain of their exact location.
Just a guess. Educated guess.
Emil then remembers he has a friend in Casablanca who owes him a huge favor. If they can somehow send a message to him, Emil is confident that his friend and his group will come to rescue them. To send that message, Ray comes up with another trick. He swallows the stolen clotting powder, faking symptoms of poisoning.
What is this? You swallowed clotting powder?
During the checkup, Ray reveals his real name, insisting that he isn't a criminal and was set up. He urges the doctor to search Warden Hobbs's office, claiming that his book is there as proof of his identity. That night, the doctor struggles with his conscience, drinking as he reflects on the Hippocratic Oath. Eventually, he sneaks into the warden's office and finds Ray's book, confirming that Ray was telling the truth all along. Realizing the injustice of the situation, the doctor immediately orders the guards to bring Ray to him. He asks how he can help. Ray tells him to send an email to Emil's contact in Casablanca. The day of the escape has finally arrived. Ray gives Warden Hobbs a fake location for Mannheim.
See, ratting out your friends ain't so hard.
Successfully misleading him. At the same time, Javed approaches the warden with more false intel, claiming that a riot will break out today, and that the guards should keep a close eye on Ray. Hobbs immediately begins watching Ray through the CCTV cameras. He spots Ray secretly sending a message in Morse code to instigate a riot in Block C. Falling for the trap, the warden orders all his guards to Block C, leaving only 2 guards in the Babylon area. Meanwhile, the doctor finally sends the email to Emil's contact in Casablanca, setting their backup plan in motion. Seeing the perfect opportunity, Javed provokes a fight in the Babylon area, starting the riot. As guards scramble to control the situation, Ray, Emil, and Javed seize the moment and make a run for the top deck. However, Hobbs quickly notices their escape and orders an immediate lockdown of the cargo hold. Before the 3 can reach the top, the security doors slam shut, blocking their path. At the same time, Emil's rescue team arrives in helicopters, hovering over the ship, ready to extract them. Inside the prison, guards engage in a shootout with the escapees. During the process, Javed is shot and unable to move. Ray quickly comes up with a plan. He must shut down the ship's power system to unlock all doors, giving them a way out. He orders Emil to get to the deck and board the helicopter, promising that he'll find his own way out. Emil hesitates, unwilling to leave Javed behind, but Javed insists, asking to leave him with guns. He'll buy them some time. Reluctantly, Emil hands him 2 pistols before rushing to the deck. Moments later, guards close in on Javed, but before they can kill him, he takes down several of them in a final stand. Meanwhile, on his way to the control room, Ray runs into the prison officer. A brutal fight ensues. After an intense struggle, Ray finally kills the officer by sending him tumbling down the stairs. Wasting no time, Ray reaches the control center and shuts down the power system, unlocking all doors. With the hatch now open, Emil makes it to the deck, sprinting under heavy gunfire toward the helicopter. He detaches a machine gun and goes full Arnold Schwarzenegger mode, mowing down enemies like the Terminator. He orders his team to wait for Ray, but realizes they won't last much longer. Forced to take off, they hover around the ship, hoping Ray can still make it. Meanwhile, Ray hides inside a water flushing tank as Hobbs searches the area nearby. The warden orders his men to turn the power back on. When they do, the fuel conversion system automatically fills the flushing tank with water, and before anyone realizes it, Ray is forcefully flushed out into the ocean. Hobbs notices what has happened and rushes outside. Emil spots Ray struggling in the water. Acting fast, he lowers the helicopter's ladder and Ray latches onto it. Meanwhile, Warden Hobbs isn't done yet. He opens fire on them, wounding Emil and nearly shooting down the ladder. Ray takes aim at the oil tanks on the deck and fires. The shot ignites a massive explosion, engulfing the warden and his men in a fiery blast. The helicopter flies toward the Moroccan coast. As soon as they step onto solid ground, a car arrives to pick them up. To Ray's shock, Jessica, the woman who hired him for the job, steps out of the vehicle. But what baffles him even more is when Emil casually introduces her as his daughter. It is then revealed that Emil is actually Mannheim, the very man everyone believed to be his boss. He had lied about his identity to protect himself from his enemies, ensuring no one would come after him. Jessica, knowing her father was imprisoned in the tomb, orchestrated Ray's incarceration to get him inside and break her father out. Even the alias Portos was a coded message meant for her father. Before parting ways, Jessica delivers one final piece of information.
How much does Les really know?
Only what I told him at first, but the next thing I know, he's gone around me and offered his services to the backers of the tomb.
In the next scene, Ray reunites with Abigail. She reveals that Lester was promised the CEO position of the prison, but only if the prototype facility proved inescapable. But now that Ray has escaped, Lester panics and begins packing his bags, preparing to flee. However, Hush and Abigail track him down, ready to enact their revenge. But before he can leave, Hush suddenly attacks him, knocking him unconscious right in the driver's seat. Sometime later, Lester wakes up. As he comes to his senses, he realizes he's still inside the vehicle, his car inside a shipping container, and that container is locked up tight, sealed aboard a massive cargo ship, heading to an unknown destination. Trapped with no escape, Lester now faces the same fate he had planned for Ray. By the
I only paid 99
No
cents
air.
for all of these shoes, and let me show you how.
How
First, go and
about the
download
brave
AliExpress
no
because they're offering a new
air?
user deal where you get to buy 3
Yeah.
items and only pay 99 cents.
How about
It has
the
free
brave
shipping,
no
free
air?
returns, and a 75-day
I feel that
You won't
song.
believe me, but this guy, you might know him as the front man, brought knives to a gunfight. Want to know how that happened? All right, I'll tell you. The story begins in 1879 in a small town called Rose Creek, which is under the brutal control of a robber baron and gold mining tycoon named Bartholomew Bogue. With an army of hired guns at his command, Bogue seeks to take full control of Rose Creek due to its rich gold mines. Beyond bribing Sheriff Hart and forcing the townspeople to work for pitiful wages, Bogue and his men routinely abuse their power, leaving the residents to suffer in misery and poverty. Fed up with their suffering, the townspeople gather in a church to discuss their options. Should they surrender their land to Bogue, or should they fight back with everything they have? The only person in town who supports Bogue is a brothel owner, the only successful businessman in Rose Creek.
We'll give you a fair share. What share we having? You're the only one making money here. What you and your whores? Now, Ben, that ain't fair. You know that you were there the other night.
As the townspeople vote, Emma and her husband Matthew firmly choose to keep their land, making it clear that they will never hand it over to Bogue, no matter what. But before the discussion can continue, Bogue himself arrives at the church with his armed men, instantly silencing the room.
It's the Lord's house. No place for gunmen. No women and children.
With an air of arrogance, he delivers an eloquent speech, claiming that their land is nothing more than worthless dust. Then, in a mock display of generosity, he offers them $20 per parcel of land. When the townspeople object, Bogue orders his men to burn the church to the ground. He gives them 3 weeks to accept his offer, warning that anyone who refuses will be killed. As Bogue prepares to leave, Matthew politely but firmly asks him why he's acting like such a tyrant. His wife signals him to stop, but he refuses, pushing his luck until Bogue ruthlessly shoots him dead in front of everyone. Chaos erupts as Bogue's men begin slaughtering the townspeople at random. Among Bogue's hired guns is a Comanche warrior, who coldly kills a terrified woman with a precise tomahawk throw. Several other men who try to defend themselves are also gunned down. Before departing, Bogue orders his pocket sheriff to leave the bodies where they fell, forcing the townspeople to look at them for days as a warning. A few days later, a man named Sam Chisholm, a well-known U.S. Marshal, arrives in Amador, the closest town to Rose Creek. He walks into a saloon where a smooth-talking card shark, Josh Faraday,
Hello,
is
what's the
playing
deal,
poker with
everybody?
the
This is
locals.
Scarback
Sam
Light, but I'm
approaches
just
the
not talking
bartender
to my
and begins
tooth hurt real
interrogating him
bad.
about a criminal named Powder Dan. As he recounts the details, tension in the room thickens. A few men shift uncomfortably, their hands inching toward their guns. It's clear to everyone that the bartender is Powder Dan. Sensing the impending fight, Chisholm remains calm and skillfully neutralizes every threat before they can act. He moves in to arrest Dan, but before he can cuff him, one of the poker players reaches for his revolver. Faraday, for reasons unknown, stops him. Realizing he's out of options, Powder Dan suddenly draws his gun, but Chisholm is quicker and guns him down first. He then orders the others to fetch the sheriff. The saloon empties in an instant, leaving only Faraday behind. Faraday tries to strike up a conversation, but Chisholm ignores him and steps outside, hands raised. The sheriff holds him at gunpoint, but Chisholm calmly explains who he is.
I'm a duly sworn warrant officer of the Circuit Court in Wichita, Kansas. I'm also a licensed peace officer in the Indian Territories, all Kansas, Nebraska, and 7 other states.
And presents a wanted poster with Powder Dan's face, proving his authority. Nearby, Emma and her friend Teddy observe the exchange. They realize this is the man they need. Meanwhile, Faraday sweeps up the remaining money from the poker table, grabs a bottle of firewater, and slips out the saloon's back door, only to be confronted by 2 men. They accuse him of cheating in a poker game a few days ago and intend to kill him for it. Without giving him a chance to escape, they drag him toward a nearby
We'll be
mine.
right back.
At the same time,
For sure, sub up, everybody. I appreciate it.
help against the tyrant. They describe the brutal situation in Rose Creek.
A rich man is overtaking the town. He's killed half a dozen men. He's got the sheriff on his payroll and Blackstone Agency is employed. You don't need a bounty hunter, you need an army. We intend to hire one, sir.
Desperate, Emma offers him everything the town has managed to scrape together.
I offered a lot for my work, but never everything.
That man murdered my husband.
At first, he refuses, but then she mentions Bogue's name. Chisholm's demeanor shifts. He takes a moment to consider, then agrees. And holy smoke, I just realized that's not Jennifer Lawrence. What the hell? Meanwhile, the 2 men attempt to force Faraday into the mine, but he resists.
You want to kill me, kill me. You know, rob me, but I will not go in that mine. There's rats in there.
Instead, he asks if he can show them a magic trick before they kill him.
Playing no game.
You've got to drop on me. You've got to do that for this. Come on, I'll just pick one real quick. You know how I like magic.
Faraday pulls a deck of cards from his pocket and begins his performance. But in the middle of the trick, he suddenly draws his gun, killing one of them and disabling the other. So unexpected. Faraday shoots off part of the man's ear and warns him never to cross his path again.
I didn't want to kill him. You shouldn't have touched my gun.
Afterward, Faraday heads to a man who had won his horse in a dice game. He demands it back, but the man isn't interested in negotiating.
I would like to buy my horse back, though I am light of funds at the moment.
As they prepare to draw on each other, Sam suddenly appears and offers to buy the horse for Faraday. Sam then makes Faraday another offer, a job. He invites him to join an impending battle against a powerful man with his own army.
Is it difficult? Impossible. How many you got so far? 2? But them? You and me?
Without hesitation, Faraday agrees. Because, well, you know, why not? As they ride, Faraday finally asks for some clarification about their target.
Whose execution do we seek? Bartholomew Bogue? Mark Bogue? The robber baron?
And honestly, that should have been the first question he asked before signing up for this suicide mission.
You want out? Feel free to leave. Just leave my horse, because I paid for it. Speaking out loud.
Sam instructs Faraday and Teddy to travel to a small village and find a man named Goodnight Robichaux, a former Confederate sharpshooter feared by his enemies. They are to meet back outside Junction City in 3 days. Meanwhile, Sam and Emma set off to recruit another of Sam's old allies. Faraday and Teddy arrive in the village and notice a crowd gathering. As they move closer, they see 2 men dueling by shooting cups. A judge declares the winner, a skilled Asian gunslinger named Billy Rocks. The losing man, unwilling to accept defeat, demands a rematch, this time a real duel. He doubles the bet, and Billy agrees.
Double or nothing.
Funeral arcade.
Billy drops his gun, preparing for the signal. The moment the starting shot fires, Billy eliminates his opponent with nothing but his hair stick. Goodnight Robichaux, watching from the sidelines, collects the bets from the spectators. One man refuses, calling them cheaters.
I ain't have a bag of cheaters. You keeping my money.
He's a good night. He's drunk.
Mr. Robichaux, I've known it was you. I was your man. I never would have made such a disrespectful comment.
It's all right, son. We just paid him up.
Faraday tells Goodnight Robichaux
Sam Chisholm sent us.
they indulge in drinks together, and Goodnight opens up about his past. He explains that he was originally sent to serve a warrant on Billy for the Northern Pacific Railroad.
Warrant for what? Killing a man with a hairpin?
But after witnessing Billy take on an entire room of men with nothing but his fists and winning, Goodnight decided to befriend him instead. Now, they make their living off Billy's incredible skills, winning money through bets. Goodnight makes it clear, if they want him on their team, they have to accept Billy as well. Meanwhile, Sam and Emma arrive at the home of one of Sam's old friends, only to find his dead body inside. As they search the house, they are suddenly caught off guard by a Mexican man who holds Sam at gunpoint. He quickly explains that he isn't the one who killed their friend. Sam, now recognizing the man, calls him by name.
You Vasquez?
He pulls out a warrant for Vasquez's arrest, but makes him an offer.
Got a business proposition for you. After business is concluded, but then there'll still be a lot of men after your hide. That should give me comfort. Sure. I'm won't be one of them.
And for whatever reason, instead of just shooting Sam and leaving, Vasquez agrees to the deal. The next day, the two groups gather at the appointed meeting place. Faraday, still drunk,
Oh, good. We gotta make it.
immediately starts mocking Vasquez. As they ride together, the group members begin getting to know each other. Goodnight points out the surprising racial diversity of their team, which for the time period is almost unheard of.
A Mexican, cabrón. No such thing as a Mexican. So I tell him that to my granddaddy. He died at the Alamo. New Orleans Grays, long buried. Bayonets, mauled by a horde of tin and brown devils. My grandfather was one of those devils, you know. Hey, my grandfather killed your grandfather, huh? What a charming thought. Since we are bonding.
They eventually arrive at the home of Jack Horn, another of Sam and Goodnight's old acquaintances. But instead of Jack, they find two goons waiting for them. The goons claim they've killed Jack Horn and proudly display his rifle as a trophy to prove it.
You have no body?
Well, you see Lynn here? Smashed a boulder over his head. Fell off the cliff.
Snuck up on him, huh?
Just as one of them finishes boasting, a tomahawk flies through the air and strikes him dead. Jack Horn himself steps onto the scene, his head covered in blood. Without hesitation, he brutally beats the second goon to death.
These two ungodly creatures broke the rock from my head, robbed me of my possession. I traveled for 2 days. Now I got a right by the Lord and by the law. Take back what belongs to me. Are we in agreement?
The group offers him a place in their team, but instead of responding, Jack calmly turns and walks away, leaving his answer hanging in the air.
Man, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, man. We back.
The team moves toward Rose Creek, but stops for the night along the way. As darkness falls, Faraday tries to barter with Teddy, offering him shooting lessons in exchange for a drink. Meanwhile, Goodnight quietly asks Sam whether he has told the team the real reason he accepted this job. At dawn, the crew is suddenly awakened by the smell of blood. It turns out that Horn has been tracking them all night, but they aren't his target. He's been following a Comanche hunter who now emerges from the wilderness with his freshly caught prey. Using his limited knowledge of the Comanche language, Sam strikes up a conversation. The hunter introduces himself as Red Harvest and explains that his tribe abandoned him. Recognizing his potential, Sam offers Red Harvest a place in the group. In response, Red Harvest shares the deer's liver with Sam, sealing their pact. The team presses forward, navigating through diverse landscapes until they finally reach the gates of Rose Creek. Upon arrival, Sam and Billy enter the town alone, walking straight into the heart of Bogue's occupied territory. Waiting for them in the town center are Bogue's men, including the imposing Sheriff Harp and Bogue's right-hand man, Lieutenant McCann. Sheriff Harp immediately declares that firearms are banned in Rose Creek and demands that Sam surrender his guns, promising to return them when he leaves. Sam remains calm and tells them he's ready to give up his gun, but his friends probably won't be. Right on cue, the rest of the team steps onto the scene. Bogue's men mock them.
Quite a batch of strain. I'll say a prayer for you. A little prayer.
But Sam ignores their taunts and tells McCann to inform Bogue.
If he wants us down, come see me.
McCann, unwilling to back down, gives a silent order to a sniper positioned on the roof. But before the sniper can fire, he suddenly collapses off the building. Red Harvest appears behind him, bow in hand, and swiftly takes out another of Bogue's men. For a long, tense moment, Bogue's remaining men do nothing but stare at Sam and his team. Then, after what feels like forever, the shooting finally begins. Sam's crew moves with precision and unyielding speed, unleashing a storm of bullets, knife slashes, and arrows that tear through the silence. One by one, their enemies fall, some before they even have a chance to react. In the chaos, Bogue's men scramble to flee or find cover, but none of them escape. Anyone who runs is gunned down. The Magnificent Seven dominates the fight, killing nearly all of Bogue's men. Billy expertly handles his knives, while Goodnight, frozen in shock, fails to fire a single shot. His PTSD has paralyzed him. As the prolonged firefight comes to an end, only McCann and Sheriff Harp remain alive. McCann turns and flees, but Goodnight takes aim and holds him at gunpoint, only to freeze once again.
Take a damn shot.
Faraday urges him to shoot, but Goodnight lowers his rifle instead. To cover for his friend, Billy steps in and tells Faraday the rifle is jammed. As the echoes of battle fade, the crew shares their kill count, with Faraday boasting the highest at 7. Meanwhile, Sam tracks down the terrified sheriff, who is hiding under a house. Sam orders him to come out and fires him on the spot, stripping him of his authority. He then instructs the former sheriff to deliver a message to Bogue in Sacramento. With the battle over, Emma gathers the townspeople to introduce them to the Magnificent Seven. The brothel owner, the town's only successful businessman, steps forward, clearly unimpressed.
Who picked in a deal on our behalf?
Seems I was the only one false enough to do so.
Sam warns the townspeople that the real fight is yet to come, and that they must prepare. Emma tells those who are afraid to leave while they still can, while the rest must help fortify the town retaliation. Considering the distance between Rose Creek and Sacramento, they have about a week before Bogue returns. The next morning, some of the townspeople wrap up their successful business and leave town. However, a commendable number choose to stay, determined to defend their home. Training sessions begin.
Nice. There's nothing to it.
Billy demonstrates the art of knife fighting, showing off his deadly accuracy.
It's simple.
But after witnessing his skills, no one wants to learn. It looks way too difficult.
Hey, get back here. Get back.
Faraday and Goodnight take charge of gun training, but the initial results are frankly disastrous. Stumbles and missed shots are the norm. Not a single bullet hits the target.
Statistically speaking, they should hit something.
In the midst of the chaos, Faraday, recalling Goodnight's hesitation during the last fight, challenges him. He hands Goodnight a gun, urging him to demonstrate his skills.
23 confirmed kills at Antietam. This is one of Connolly's Confederate sharpshooters. Doug, the Angel of Death. Do what he does. He's a legend.
At first, Goodnight refuses, trying to wriggle out of it.
Or is that all you are?
But Faraday keeps pushing until Goodnight finally gives in. When he does, he puts on a stunning display of marksmanship, impressing everyone.
Told you.
That evening, the Magnificent Seven gathers at the town's edge to devise a plan. They agree to set as many traps as possible before Bogue arrives. They head to Bogue's mines, taking down all of his men in a swift attack. Turning to the enslaved workers, they offer them a choice: leave and be free, or stay and fight for Rose Creek. After collecting a supply of dynamite, the Seven return to town with some of the workers who choose to fight. Meanwhile, in Sacramento, the sheriff delivers Sam's audacious message to Bogue. It's a direct challenge to Bogue's bravery.
I'm not a big coward.
Bogue, unfazed, asks if Sam has named his price, remarking that every man has his price. The sheriff shakes his head.
Not this man.
Enraged, Bogue kills the sheriff on the spot and orders his men to assemble an army for war. The next morning, Emma practices her shooting when Faraday approaches, eager to show off his skills. To his surprise, Emma is already a crack shot. She asks him why he decided to join this fight. He dodges the question, responding with a rhetorical remark instead of a straight answer.
I needed my horse back, and this was the price. 6 pounds of pressure. That's all that's required to kill a man. And they say the nightmares never go away.
Those nightmares? They keep you up often, Mr. Faraday?
As anticipation for Bogue's attack grows, the Seven survey the town's landscape, finalizing their strategy. Their plan is simple: lure Bogue's men inside the town, where the villagers can take them out at close range. They decide to dig trenches and set traps along the way to weaken Bogue's forces before the real fight begins. Sam orders Goodnight to find high ground with a clear line of sight and to keep Bogue in his crosshairs once the chaos starts. And honestly, why not just take the shot and end the war immediately? The team immediately throws themselves into intense preparations. Emma is eager to fight, but Sam dismisses her.
You keep the women and children safe and out of harm.
I aim to fight.
Well, if it comes to that, then we're all dead, ain't we?
Which makes no sense, considering she's the best shooter among all the townspeople. But never mind. They also restore the burnt church, recognizing it as the best vantage point for shooting. And for whatever reason, they waste valuable time setting up the bell. That night, instead of using every second to prepare, they waste even more time drinking and having fun. During the revelry, Goodnight confesses to Billy that he has triggered his curse.
Ow, follow me. Let me follow you. I heard the voice. I heard the voice. Hoodie, Billy. I pulled the trigger on violence again. I'm gonna die carefully, Billy. I heard it.
Next morning, Red Harvest embarks on a reconnaissance mission and soon returns with urgent news. Bogue and his men are only a day away. Later that night, Goodnight, consumed by fear, decides to leave town. Sam tries to stop him, but Goodnight breaks down.
I'm gonna come everything and despise them. I'm faint-hearted.
He apologizes and rides away.
You remember me as I was.
Watching Goodnight leave, Emma steps forward and tells Sam she's ready to take his place. Understanding the weight of the coming battle, Sam turns to his team. He gives them a choice: stay and fight or walk away. To his surprise, Faraday and the rest stand unwavering, determined to defend the people of Rose Creek. At dawn, the alarming clang of the bell shatters the morning silence, signaling the enemy's approach. As the sun rises, the children of Rose Creek are ushered into a basement, while the town's defenders assume their carefully planned positions. On the horizon, Bogue's formidable army stands in a menacing formation, lined up with eerie precision. From the depths of the town, Sam emerges alone. alone, squaring off against the approaching army. McCann, watching from Bogue's side, confirms that Sam is the man who challenged him. Without hesitation, Bogue gives the order to attack. The army charges forward in a unified wave, thundering toward the town, while Bogue stays behind to watch the battle unfold. As the attackers close in, Horn detonates the explosives, sending many of Bogue's men flying off their horses. Seeing this, Bogue starts to lose his confidence. The sudden chaos provides a golden opportunity for the defenders of Rose Creek. They unleash a relentless barrage of gunfire on the disoriented enemy. As the battle rages on, both sides suffer heavy losses, the ground stained with the cost of war. When the attackers break through into the town, Sam, Red Harvest, and Emma step up to fight them off. But even their impressive feats pale in comparison to Billy, who practically dances across the battlefield with his knives, leaving a trail of bodies in his wake. Faraday guns down enemies with a pistol in each hand, while Horn charges forward, dominating the enemy lines with his tomahawks and guns. Not to be outdone, Vasquez and Faraday take center stage, displaying deadly precision with their firearms. The town square becomes a playground for Red Harvest, who rains down arrows with masterful accuracy. Amid the chaos, Faraday ignites a series of explosive charges. With the enemy in disarray, the defenders strategically fall back. Sam, now in a near-berserk state, cuts through Bogue's men like a force of nature. Every movement, a lethal display of precision and power. Meanwhile, Horn makes a run for their cannon, but Billy covers him, epically taking out incoming attackers. Eventually, Horn seizes the perfect moment and fires the cannon, obliterating a large group of attackers. This sends a chill down Bogue's spine. Seeing his forces struggle, he orders his men to bring in the Gatling gun. Suddenly, McCann shoots Faraday, sending him crashing to the ground. In a fit of rage, Vasquez avenges his comrade. Though wounded, Faraday refuses to stay down. He pushes through the pain and keeps fighting. Just as the tide turns, Goodnight returns to the battle. He takes down Bogue's men with precise shots, shouting to Sam that Bogue's got a Gatling gun.
I got the devil's breath! I got a goddamn Gatling gun!
One of Bogue's henchmen hesitates, reminding him that they still have men in the town.
Still have men there, sir.
But Bogue doesn't care. He orders them to open fire anyway. The Gatling gun roars to life, tearing through the town and cutting down both defenders and attackers alike. The defenders scramble for cover, seeking refuge from the relentless barrage. When the Devil's Breath finally runs out of ammunition, they seize the chance to evacuate the children. Meanwhile, Goodnight and Billy ascend the church steeple, preparing for the next wave.
I need you to come back. Oh, you did you? How'd you know that?
But a new threat emerges. Denali, Bogue's trusted Comanche warrior, fires. Despite Horn's resilience, a series of well-placed arrows finally bring down the legendary fighter. Under the dim glow of the saloon lights, Emma finds herself cornered by Denali. Her gun is empty, but before Denali can strike, Red Harvest makes his entrance. A brutal fight ensues, ending when Red Harvest delivers a lethal blow. Outside, amidst the smoke-filled chaos, Faraday, clutching a bleeding wound, links up with Sam.
You know what? We're even. For the horses. You don't owe me anything. Well, you owe me. What's that? Cover.
Determined to turn the tide, he mounts a horse with Sam's help and charges toward the Gatling gun. Goodnight and Billy cover him, but the Gatling gun turns its sights on them, cutting them down. Both Goodnight and Billy meet their end. Even as bullets tear through his body, Faraday refuses to stop. He falls from his horse, landing right in front of the Gatling gun's position. With his last ounce of strength, he struggles to his feet, limps toward the enemy, only to be gunned down again. Impressed by his persistence, Bogue's men let him smoke one last cigar. One of them even helps him light it. Faraday plays dead, waiting. And when they let their guard down, he discreetly lights a stick of dynamite.
I always been lucky with one-eyed Jack.
The explosion that follows obliterates the enemy forces around him. When the dust settles, only Bogue and a couple of his henchmen remain. Determined to finish off the last defenders, they enter the town, only for Sam to swiftly take out the two gunmen, leaving him face to face with Bogue near the ruined church. With a shaken voice, Bogue tries to negotiate, desperate to understand what Sam has against him. Sam reminds him, 12 years ago, Bogue hired renegade Greys to pillage and steal land in Kansas. Bogue scoffs at the accusation.
God didn't want him to share. He wouldn't have made him sheep.
Mocks Sam's questions and suddenly goes for his gun, but Sam is faster. A precise shot disarms Bogue, wounding his hand. Sam orders him to pick up the gun, but the coward turns and runs toward the church. Another shot, this time to the leg. Bogue collapses and crawls inside the ruined church, praying frantically, insisting that killing inside a church is a sin. Sam is unmoved. He tells Bogue to pray for his mother, who was assaulted and killed by Bogue's men. Pray for his two sisters, who were murdered by them. Then, Sam pulls down his scarf, revealing the scar on his neck, the mark of a noose when Bogue's men tried to hang him. Bogue finally remembers.
You remember?
Sam tightens his scarf around Bogue's throat, strangling him as the coward desperately claws for air. In a last-ditch effort, Bogue reaches for a hidden gun, only to be shot dead by Emma. With the town in ruins and countless lives lost, the surviving townspeople express their gratitude to Sam, Vasquez, and Red Harvest, hailing them as heroes as they depart. The movie closes with the graves of Faraday, Goodnight, Horn, and Billy. Emma's narration honors the memory of the Magnificent Seven. Okay, hold my beer for a second. I just realized something. Bogue originally promised to return in 3 weeks to collect signed contracts from the townspeople. So instead of just waiting for him to come back, completely unaware and ambushing him, they sent the sheriff to Bogue with a message like, "Come with your entire army and we'll do our best to kill you," which got a bunch of people killed, put children in danger, and turned the whole town into a war zone. What was the point? Anyway, subscribe to the channel and check out other recaps by clicking these pictures. See ya! The movie kicks off on the streets of Los Angeles in 2030. 4 years earlier, in 2026, during the height of the Great Depression, the California Grand Lottery was introduced. Desperate for a financial lifeline, both the new government and the public supported its creation. The catch, the winner could be killed before sundown and their jackpot legally claimed, but no firearms allowed. In 2030, Stiefler is on the run, with an angry crowd hot on his heels. Everyone's eager to get their hands on his jackpot, and some even ditch their 350Zs in the middle of the street to chase him down on foot instead of just running him over. Stiefler holds his ground, taking down a few of his pursuers. He then leaps from a parking garage, landing in the backyard of a lunchtime lady.
Lunchtime.
They dive into the action together, and Stiefler barely manages to fight off the attackers. Eat this. Afterward, he breaks into a house through a window, finding a grandmother inside. He checks that she doesn't know who he is,
You know who I am.
then snatches her phone and destroys it without hesitation. As Stiefler catches his breath, the grandmother spots a drone hovering outside, broadcasting his location to everyone nearby. While he's distracted, she quietly grabs a No Country for Old Men gun and pierces his head with it. Turns out, she does know exactly who he is.
But I do know who you are.
She rips up her lottery ticket, signaling the kill. Within moments, the lottery squad bursts in to verify the claim. The grandmother's prize is confirmed, a massive check for $22 million. She ends up on TV, a new lottery millionaire. Sometime later, Katie's riding a bus, her eyes fixated on a small Oscar keychain, a memento she clearly treasures. She overhears a man complaining about his daughter, ranting that she blew an audition for some ad. He's harsh, using cruel words about how disappointed he is in her. The girl, visibly crushed by her father's words, sits quietly. Katie can't stand it. She walks up to the man, pretending to be a cop, and threatens to take him to child services if he doesn't change his attitude. Her words do the trick. The man immediately softens and adjusts his tone.
Sorry for all the bad words. I only curse when your mom's being a bitch.
An elderly woman chimes in, pointing out that Katie's a bit too young to be a cop. The girl then confirms she's actually an actress. The two share a heart-to-heart, and Katie opens up, admitting she came to LA to relaunch her acting career. The lady wishes her the best of luck
Your legs fall off? Isn't that what actors say?
Yeah, that's exactly what they say.
and gets off the bus. But as Katie looks down, she realizes her watch is missing.
The Golden Girl stole my watch!
Frustrated, she notices an ad on a nearby billboard for Louis Protection Agency, specializing in keeping lottery winners safe. What catches her off guard, though, is that she has no clue what the California Deadly Lottery even is. During the ride, Katie can't help but notice how tense and aggressive everyone on the street seems. It's like the whole city is on edge.
What's going on? Is there an evacuation or something?
Lottery day tomorrow.
Lottery day, what does that mean?
Lottery day.
Meanwhile, the media can't stop hyping up the upcoming lottery drawing just 18 hours away. Ticket sales have hit new records, and the jackpot is a mind-blowing $3.6 billion. Over at his place, Noel's prepping his weapons while singing the Turtle Power song. I'm a big fan of Ninja Turtles myself, by the way. Turns out he's a security guard for lottery winners. Back on her own journey, Katie finally arrives at the room she rented online, but it doesn't take long for her to realize her Airbnb host, Shadi, totally misrepresented the place. It's a dump.
Looks a little different from Airbnb photos.
Yeah, I think the lighting's different.
Well, the entire room is different.
Oh yeah, no, it was a different house because we use fake photos. Cause like, who's gonna stay here if we don't?
Shadi herself is equally
I want to beat these guys like
all
that.
over the room. She cracks cringy jokes, and she ignores her mom's well-meaning calls.
Yeah, it's my Mom, bye. She calls me all the time. I haven't answered in 2 years. She just calls and calls and calls, and she's like, Shadi, I love you. I miss you. That's sweet. Oh, my mom's dead. Lucky.
Shadi also has an obnoxious boyfriend named DJ, and the two of them can't stop talking about how huge the lottery prize is this month. DJ slaps Katie in the face to test her fighting skills.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
What was that?
I thought you were gonna dodge it.
Why?
Look at your bag. It says you go to fighting school. Okay, what the stage fighting?
It's fake fighting for movies.
Wait, they fake fight in movies?
The next morning, Katie wakes up to the leaking from the upstairs toilet and quickly realizes her clothes are soaked and ruined. She calls Shadi to complain, especially since she has an audition in just a few hours. Shadi's idea of help, renting her clothes for an extra $40. With no other option, Katie has to dip into her savings for a hideous outfit and take a cab because she's already running late. During the ride, the cab driver won't stop making awkward comments and talking about celebrity gossip. She proudly mentions she used to work with a ton of celebs back when she did construction, even claiming she installed Machine Gun Kelly's panic room.
What does Machine Gun Kelly have to panic about? Running out of skin to tattoo?
When Katie finally makes it to the audition, the secretary hits her with a $400 fee to participate. After handing over the money, her audition begins. She explains she was in a bunch of TV ads as a kid, but had to put her career on hold to take care of her sick mom in Michigan.
Are you the kid from the Spaghetti Squares commercial? Yeah. Who cares? It's Spaghetti Squares.
After her mom passed, Katie decided to give acting another shot. As she's speaking, she reflexively reaches into her pockets for her monologue notes, but instead she pulls out Shadi's lottery ticket. In the chaos, she accidentally activates it by pressing her thumb onto the fingerprint scanner. The system registers her as a player, snapping her picture. Panicked, she quickly stuffs the ticket back in her pocket and tries to get back to the audition. But things take a strange turn when the men ask her to do weird things, like touching her toes while delivering her lines or jiggling during her dramatic speech. Frustrated, Katie demands her money back, but they just toss her out. In the corridor, Katie wishes another actress good luck, casually saying,
Break a leg. You break a leg.
Break your entire body.
Thank you.
Suddenly, all their lottery tickets activate, announcing that Katie is the winner, and even flashing her face on screens. The actress's attitudes change in an instant, and they surround her. Katie has no idea what's going on.
I definitely didn't get the part, so there's no need for the death stare.
Before she can process it, they start attacking her with anything they can grab.
What the ladies? Break a leg means good luck in the theater. Calm down.
She narrowly dodges each strike, still clueless about why they're coming after her. Even the workers get involved, jumping into the chaos.
Jesus, Hollywood's gotten extremely competitive.
On the next floor, Katie manages to duck into a room, escaping the actresses as they run off. But when she looks around, she realizes she stumbled into a karate class. And these people aren't here for a friendly spar. They immediately target her, tossing her around like a rag doll, calling her my jackpot. Worse, they're not just after her, they're fighting each other too, all trying to get the kill for themselves.
Oh my God, that's your student!
Desperate, Katie tries to ask what's going on, but they don't even acknowledge her, too consumed by the competition to listen. The coach hurls Katie through a wall, sending her crashing into a yoga class. And of course, more people are ready to kill her. The Karate Kids follow right behind, and a massive brawl erupts. Katie's thrown into the chaos, but eventually the karate coach overpowers everyone, pinning Katie and choking her out. Just as it seems like it's game over, Noel bursts through the ceiling, slamming the coach into the wall and saving her. He quickly offers her a deal, 10% of the jackpot in exchange for protecting her. He hands her his smartphone to sign the contract, all while explaining the situation. With no other options, Katie reluctantly agrees.
Okay.
From that moment on, Noel goes into full-on warrior mode, taking on anyone in his way. He uses everything as a weapon, even Katie. It's like watching John Wick in action. Noel's nearly unstoppable, calculating every move and predicting every attack before it happens. Once all the opponents are down, Katie quietly grabs Noel's paralysis dart gun, not trusting anyone anymore.
And what am I threatening you with?
Oh, that shoots enzyme protein peptide bioactive constituent rounds that cause temporary paralysis.
But Noel easily snatches it back from her. Afterward, he carefully arranges the unconscious bodies, making sure none of them will choke on their tongues. He explains that the lottery drone, which is already hovering outside, broadcasts the winner's location every 14 minutes, so they can't afford to waste any time. As they rush out of the building, Noel explains that the rules of the lottery don't allow the players to kill each other.
Fans can't kill anyone else for your money, just you. Also, your fans cannot use lethal ballistics. That means no guns.
Hold on. Fans? I don't have any fans.
Hey! It's Kenny Kim!
Just as they're about to make their escape, someone at a nearby food truck throws a knife at Katie. Noel reacts quickly, helping her dodge it before they both jump into his car and speed off.
Hey, you really don't know what's going on?
I know you're some sort of kung fu bodybuilder that cares about the tons of people he beats up.
As they drive through town, nearby people start getting alerts about her location, and the hunt begins. The ice cream truck abandons its kids.
Oh, wow. That nice girl from the bus. Good for her.
Even the old lady from the bus is now armed with a No Country for Old Men gun. Meanwhile, Noel finishes explaining how the lottery works. Katie just has to survive until sundown. But before then, anyone with a losing ticket can legally try to kill her for the prize. Before long, their car is being chased by a gang on motorbikes and ATVs. Noel quickly grabs helmets for both of them and speeds up, trying to outrun them. The gang throws Molotov cocktails and one of them hits the car, setting it on fire.
Wow, they used to close tequila. I never got the tequila craze. I'm more of a gin guy. You ever tried Arkansas?
But Noel doesn't stop. He floors it, driving into an old warehouse where the wind helps put out the flames. Inside, he skillfully maneuvers through the building, dodging Katie's fans who are still after her. Katie, breathless and desperate, asks how to cancel her participation in the lottery. Noel's answer is blunt. The only way out is to leave the city. But he points out that no one ever really wants to quit the lottery. They're all in it for the money. Eventually, they find a quiet spot to catch their breath.
Get me out of the game!
You really mean that?
How can someone whose face looks so much like a giant ear not hear what I'm saying?
Noel, however, tries to persuade Katie not to quit the lottery. He's in this for his share, after all. But in the end, he knows the client's desire is the law. With a reluctant sigh, he agrees to help her get out of the city. By the way, John Cena looks like Ralph on this frame. The bikers track them down, and the chase picks up again. Noel does everything he can to protect Katie, shielding her from not only the crazed fans, but also from the random obstacles they encounter along the way. In the chaos, one fan manages to leap into the car through the back window. Katie reacts fast, knocking the knife out of the fan's hand. Noel grabs the rearview mirror and uses it to hit the fan, then quickly tells Katie to drive. She protests, claiming she can't drive, but Noel doesn't listen. He moves to the back seat to keep fighting off the attackers. As he secures a helmet on her head with care, he kicks the fan out of the car at full speed.
What the hell was that?
You think I'm gonna kick someone out of a moving car without a helmet?
The bikers, relentless, throw another Molotov cocktail at them, but Noel takes control, urging Katie to drive straight through a wall to escape.
Don't slow down.
It's a dead end.
I've seen deader.
The car crashes through, and the bikers, caught off guard, slam into the car trying to dodge the wreckage. Katie grabs her helmet and knocks out the last biker with a solid swing. The duo tries to drive away, but the car barely moves before it breaks down from all the damage. Katie tries to run away, but Noel stops her. She fights back, using her acting fight moves, not believing that he actually wants to help. Noel tells her he's just trying to treat people the way he'd want to be treated. In the heat of the moment, Katie throws sand in his face and punches him, breaking his nose. Noel's impressed by her punch and even gives her a compliment.
I can smell my own face. Good job.
He calmly pops his nose back into place. Just then, a police car pulls up, and Katie runs to the officers, hoping for help.
Finally, some real help is here.
They're gonna try to kill you, Katie.
But as Noel predicted, the cops are just as ready to kill her. He manages to catch their taser just in time and starts fighting them off while Katie makes a break for it. Out on the street, Katie notices the Pinky Pooh mascot staring right at her. She quickly hides her face behind the mask, but her lottery ticket buzzes with a message. It's a location update and video from the DJI-inspired lottery drone, which, by the way, is the best drone. The people on the street notice the drone's signal and realize she's nearby. Panicked, Katie rushes into a wax museum, but the guard stops her.
Sorry, we're closed for renovations till next week.
However, he recognizes her, not just from the lottery, but from her childhood career in TV ads.
And I also love spaghetti squares.
He reassures her she's safe here, explaining he has a daughter her age and finds the lottery immoral. She hides in the museum where she stumbles upon a strange wax figure of J-Lo.
J-Lo? Looks like a statue of a woman asking to see the manager.
Then Katie receives a call from Shani. The annoying girl pretends to empathize with her,
Oh,
but in
you
reality
got
she's
that
already on the same street searching for Katie. Katie asks if she can borrow Shadi's car. In return, Shadi asks for her address, lying that she's at home. While Katie hesitates, she hears Pinky Pooh in the background and suddenly realizes that Shadi is hunting for her too. At that moment, a wax figure in the museum welcomes her, giving away Katie's location. Afterwards, Shadi and DJ try to enter the museum.
Sorry, we're closed for renovations.
But the guard stops them.
Oh, you two are banned.
Reminding them they're banned for having done dirty stuff with the Tin Man figure.
I thought we were fucking RoboCop.
In response, Shadi knocks the guard out cold, and the couple rushes inside.